All right. All right. Yep. Yep. I'm sure everyone can see the title of the video and have an understanding of how this stream and how this video in general is going to go down. Just making sure what's going on, Ash. Thanks. I can see the chat box is up now. Just making sure that the volume. I'm sure everyone can. Cool. Liverpool lose to Bournemouth. Liverpool lose late to Bournemouth. Now, I'm sure a lot of Liverpool fans will have opinions, feelings on the game. Obviously, I don't think Liverpool played well. Specifically, I definitely don't think Liverpool played well defensively. Particularly, of course, in the first half, it was fairly terrible. The first goal down to Van Dijk. The second goal, I've seen some people talk about how they feel the goal was down to Van Dijk. I don't think so. I think it was 110% Kirkes not tracking his runner, of course. The decisions in the team didn't really make a whole bunch of sense to me. I definitely feel as though Arne Slot needs to be sacked. I think most Liverpool fans feel that at this point. I don't even think that Slot out at this point is even a controversial statement. I think most people will agree Slot needs to go. I think the players are not void of criticism. We do have to hold some responsibility to these players. That needs to happen, because at the end of the day, I don't think the style of football is great, but the run of play today was so poor. So poor. It's at a certain point, of course, Slot needs to go. Most people will agree with that. But it also needs to be taken into consideration that these players did not play well today. Defensively was really the highlight. But just in general, I don't feel as though Liverpool played great. I think the morale at the club is down bad. I don't know if the club are going to make a decision after this result. I think if you could see the title of the video, Liverpool haven't won a game in the Premier League in 2026. But we're meant to feel good because we beat Barnsley and Marseille. The Marseille result for me midweek was obviously an important result, and I do think Slot needs to get a little bit of credit for that. But this result today is concerning. It's concerning. Let me go through the run of games Liverpool have had in the Prem so far in 2026. It's insane. The 1st of January, Liverpool draw 0-0 to Leeds at Anfield. Liverpool then travel to Craven Cottage and draw 2-2 against Fulham. Liverpool then, on the 8th of January, draw 0-0 away at Arsenal. Not a terrible result. Can't really hold that against the club or the players or Slot. But what you can is a 1-1 draw to Burnley on the 17th of January at Anfield. Then, of course, today, 3-2 away at Bournemouth. We lose at the Vitality Stadium, and Liverpool are in complete and utter crisis mode now at this point. People might not say that Liverpool are in crisis. You might want to revise and reevaluate how the team are. For me personally, we're in a complete crisis mode. The manager needs to go. Do I think that today's result was completely down to the manager? I don't. But do I think that this result is predicated on how the manager has done week in, week out? Absolutely. That needs to be said. That needs to be taken into consideration. What also needs to be taken into consideration is the fact that Xabi Alonso is without a job. And now, who knows? Maybe Xabi Alonso doesn't even want to take over at Liverpool, but I find it hard to believe being unemployed and not having a managerial job. I find it hard to believe that he wouldn't be interested. Let's go through the game. I apologize if I'm saying this wrong, but Mwanda Dixon said slot out. On the money. On the money. 110%. It has to be slot out, of course. Has to be. He's proven he's just not been good enough. We got another chat coming in here from mycamera.1. It says, he always complained about his opponent's team playing low block. Now that low block didn't load your opponent's team, what you did. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Liverpool have enough talent, and Liverpool have invested enough money that I think him complaining about a low block has been bullshit the entire time, because ultimately we have enough talent and we've invested enough into this team that we should be able to play against a low block. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any excuses from him after the game. If there's, I don't think that the players played well enough. That's for sure. But ultimately, I definitely don't feel as though I don't even know how to phrase this. It's done. You're done. There shouldn't be any question about whether or not he's the right guy for the job. He hasn't done good enough. Liverpool are in a horrible, horrible position currently. We are fighting to even get in, and I've said this in previous videos and previous streams, Liverpool should be in a position to where a title race is somewhat on the horizon. That isn't even the case right now. Liverpool are in a position to where top 4 is going to really be a battle. Finishing 4th is going to be a really, really big challenge for this team and for this manager. I just a few moments ago in the stream, we're talking about some of the results that Liverpool have had so far in 2026. I mean, drawing against the likes of Burnley, drawing against the likes of Leeds, both at home. Traveling to Craven Cottage, drawing. The Arsenal draw I'm not that upset with. But then on top of that, you also, you have this loss against Bournemouth away. In a game that Liverpool had to fight back in. We had to fight back to get 2-2. And ultimately, what I hate is I hated the fact that I felt as though there was a solid chance that if Liverpool ended up winning this game, it was going to result. Wido said, "Bro, we are so ass to tactics. I'm really glad that fraud unbeaten run is over." Yeah. Oh yeah. I completely agree. The fact that it's like, oh, we haven't lost. We draw every game, but we haven't lost. Yeah. No, I completely agree. Why though? That was that. Oh, we didn't lose though. We've drawn every single game against teams that were promoted this year, but we haven't lost. It's ridiculous. Nico Demis said the rot is too deep. Players are to blame too, but too far for Slot to fix that. I actually agree, Nico. I think today was a really big reflection on I think it was more of a reflection on the players even than the manager. I think the players were poor. Don't get me wrong, I think, like you said, the rot is too deep. The situation with Slot at this club has gotten to a point It's too far gone, but the players are to blame too. The performance today was really, really poor on multiple different fronts. It just really, really, really bad. Um, you know, and mistakes from players like Van Dijk. I thought that there were a couple moments specifically in the first half that Salah had some really stupid mistakes. I'd like to know what the chat has to say about this. I thought in that game, bringing on young Rio and Gamoa, I didn't love the decision. Now, I think that decision is predicated on the fact that he got a late winner earlier in the season away at Newcastle, and I think that probably had a big influence into why Gamoa came on. But I felt as though for a player who's kind of on the fringe, is really trying to get more minutes, bringing him on in a game like this, I think is unfair almost to the player. Why, though, said, the annoying thing is that after we have a good Champions League game and then we play bad in the Premier League. I'll be interested to hear what the chat has to say about this. Why, though, I do agree it's annoying, but I saw this coming. Listen, I don't want to disrespect Marseille at all, but they're not a great competition, and I felt as though really people put far too much of an emphasis on that. Nico said, he lacks passion and connection with fans. He's clueless. He's depending on a kid to rescue the team. I completely agree. I don't like putting Ngamoa in that position to where, especially, we need a goal and we put on a 17-year-old kid to try to rescue that goal. That's so unfair to Ngamoa, in my opinion. But going back to what Witho said is, about the Champions League result, obviously it's a great result. Like, we needed to win, and we won 3-0. That's important. But let's be real. We should be beating Marseille 3-0 away. The result looked a lot better because Liverpool don't beat teams 3-0 anymore. And in the Champions League, when it's a step up in competition, of course a 3-0 away victory in the Champions League is important. But what bothered me about it was that people were kind of like, oh, this is a big result for Liverpool. It's a result that we should be making. That was my outlook on it, was that Marseille are not some world beater. Like, we should be beating Marseille. My camera said he can't win low block, can't attack our team like Man City or PSG. Nico said, bro, Marseille are awful. That's just papering over cracks. I completely agree, Nico. It's just, like, that's a result we should be getting against Marseille. 110%. Like, we should beat Marseille. And especially when you know the type of football that Marseille play and that they're going to offer you many chances going forward. They're a team that play a very high line. You should be getting opportunities against them. And, we should get that result. Why, though, said Wirtz was good, but he lacks shooting confidence for some reason. Wirtz is getting there. I'm happy with the development of the player. I can't act like I'm the team isn't playing well right now, so it's tough a lot of the times when you have these individuals to focus in on them and stuff like that. But we need to get some more confidence from him. Leanne Rena said, too many passes that lead nowhere or straight back to Allison, no real game plan. And despite getting back into it, we still lose the game in the 95th minute because the defense is chronically inept. Completely agree. Nico said, if he doesn't go top four, he's defo out of question. Injuries, bad form, the lot. I agree with both of you. What Lorena said about the passes that lead nowhere, I think that this has been a problem with this team for a while now, and I completely agree. It's far too often, and today was a little bit different because Liverpool were chasing the game in a large portion, but I think oftentimes we see just no urgency in the game. We saw a little bit more urgency because we had to have it, but I agree. Mwanda Dixon said, if Slot goes, what are some manager options? The number one has to be Shabby. I mean, that has to... it has to be. Mike Hammer said why he sold Diaz and signed a new contract with Gakpo. Slot out. Yeah, he has favorites, too. That's the crazy part about it. Is there's clear favorites, too. I'd love to know what the chat has to think about, the news that Andy Robertson might be going to Tottenham Hotspur as well. To me, I mean, I don't know. I think that's just flat out bullshit to treat a legend of the club that way. Nico said, look, if we hadn't won those early games in the season in injury time, we'd be bottom third, mid-table best, 100%. And those games, we didn't play well. Those games, like you said, we were rescued all the time by results in which we would just score late goals. Yeah. Wido said, bro, is Gakpo Slot's son or secret boyfriend? Because what the fuck? Yeah, I think I don't think Gakpo should never get any time with Liverpool, but the treatment at the club, it's very clear that he's a favorite of Slot's for sure. I think everyone can see that. It sucks, man. We're not playing well. We're the players aren't playing well. The manager isn't managing well. We're not even, even who said it in the chat here? Nico talking about winning the games in injury time earlier in the season. Those results really, like you said, have basically got us to where we are now, where we maybe could get a Champions League spot. But not only that, at least in those games, we're getting results. We're not getting the results and we're playing bad. We weren't playing well then, but at least we were getting the results. Now there's no results. Wido said we need to give Robbo a proper send-off if he was to leave. Agree. Completely agree with you there, man. I couldn't even begin to agree more. I hope Robbo doesn't go, to be honest with you. The reports that I've seen about the entire Robertson situation are that allegedly, I don't know if you guys have seen this, with Robertson leaving, allegedly Liverpool would be recalling Kostas from loan, and then those Kostas and Milos Kerkez would be our two left backs. So we lose Andy Robertson, but we'd have our left back options would be Milos Kerkez, who, look, Nico said, listen, mate, Klopp blocked fans for leaving in the 90th minute. Fans leave Anfield now in the 80th minute and boo them. It's unheard of. Yeah, no, I know. It's baffling. It really is. It's honestly and truthfully baffling. But I'd love to know what you guys think about the whole Robertson situation and the fact that Kerkez and Kostas will probably be our left back. I've seen some reports that Liverpool are interested in Anthony Robinson from Fulham. I don't know how likely that is. Cameron Fox said, why did it take 7 minutes to make a decision on Gomez? That's where the first goal came from. Actually, I think you mean that's where the second and good evening to you as well, Cameron. I think you mean the second goal. The second goal kind of came from what's it called? The second goal came from Gomez being off. The first goal definitely came from Van Dijk's mistakes. Nico said Robertson wants out, and that's why he doesn't want to be a part of a toxic team. Well, I also think with the run of form, Nico, that Kerkez has had, I think that Robertson is probably like, I really should be getting some more minutes in this team, and he's not. That's my whole thing, is why I think it's a little bullshit. and I can understand maybe his frustrations, is that he's not like Kirkes is not set. Like we saw today, he got hooked at half. Like he's not playing well, and Robertson isn't given opportunities. That's where I think it's unfair to Robertson. He's probably like, if another Big Six team want me, and another Big Six team think that, hey, you can come in and we're going to give you, some minutes, I don't really hold it against him for wanting to leave. You know? Nico said, no one wants to play under Slot. Look what he's done to Chiesa. He doesn't reward players based on ability. I don't disagree necessarily, because we've seen the Chiesa situation and performance. We've seen Chiesa, come up in big moments for the club. Not necessarily too much recently, but we've seen him play well. It's just his favorites. Yeah, we've seen him play well and not get the shine that he probably deserves. And I think that probably might go a little bit into the Robertson situation as well. That, with Kirkes struggling in a certain capacity, I don't think it's fair that ultimately he's not been given opportunities. I think it's unfair to Andy Robertson. And for the solution to this to be to sell him to a Big Six rival and then ultimately be like, yeah, we're going to recall Costa Simicas. So Costa Simicas and Kirkes are going to be our two left back options. While we already have depleting center back options, I don't think that's fair. Everyone blamed Konate, but when two fullbacks, Frimpong, Kirkes always in attack, how can Konate and Van Dijk defend a big space? Look, I think our back four, in a large part, you can point the finger of blame at a large majority of them. Even Van Dijk today did not play great. And yeah, I think that obviously Frimpong getting forward. But the thing is with Frimpong getting forward, you expected that from Jeremy Frimpong when you signed him. Like, I almost think it's unfair to be like, oh, Frimpong gets too far up, because why did we sign Jeremy Frimpong? He's a right wing back, to be real. Why would we sign a player of his particular attributes if we weren't going to really use those to our advantage? And then it's like, oh, we signed a wing back that he loves getting forward, but he's leaving us kind of exposed in certain capacities at the back. Konate hasn't played his best in some instances. I'll be real, I don't want to talk about Konate because he did not have an impact on this game, and the situation going around with his family really, really sucks. So prayers out to him and his family. Ibu, for me, I don't think he's played his best, but with the Gahey situation going to Manchester City, I don't know why the club have not explored trying to keep Ibu Konate at Liverpool Football Club. Maybe they have, and maybe it's a contract dispute, but from my understanding, the whole thing around Konate was that other clubs are interested in him. I don't think that that's the case as much anymore. Why are Liverpool not trying to sign him? That's my frustration with that situation. So, sorry. Just doing some editing in the back. Yeah. I think we definitely need to sign a center back, especially with the whole situation around Joe Gomez getting injured today. I think it sucks. We need to make sure that that we sign some players. I really don't know, guys. I think that's what it has to be, It's it's tough. Farajowski said, "What's up, mate? 3-2. Thanks, you pool. GGMU. Yeah, well done." My camera said B. Yeah, Well, why are you saying thank you? Do you think you're gonna beat Arsenal tomorrow? Farajowski, do you actually believe that you're gonna beat Arsenal? And then this result will help you get further up the table? You're not beating Arsenal tomorrow. Not happening. I know you beat City. City suck currently, so I think that had a big impact in it. You're not beating Arsenal, bud. Good one, though. Yeah, ultimately, Liverpool need to make some changes. I think Liverpool need to make change at the manager. I hope all the best. Mwanda Dickinson said, blame is all on Slot. Team selection and organization is very, very poor. Bournemouth played way better than us. I wish we had their coach. We really need to sign a Fabinho replacement. Yeah, I mean, the players are to blame today as well. I don't think that the players played great today. I certainly think a large majority of the blame needs to be on the manager for sure. But with all of that being said, yeah, I think ultimately we need to blame the players. We need to blame the manager. It sucks. It's like, I really, guys, we need to get this guy out. Do you think 3-4-3 will suit aging Van Dijk until summer with Kirkes and Frimpong? I mean, Cameron, I'll be honest with you. Do you think, do we have 3 center back options? That's my whole thing with it, man. Like, no, Ashley said blame. Ashley's trolling in the chat when she says blame FSG too. I'll be honest with you, Cameron. I like a 3-4-3. I don't even know how we would be able. Like, who's our other center back option? Like, that's my whole thing is, like a 3-4-3 is potentially, I think it could work if we were to use Van Dijk in the middle of that 3-4-3. But I worry that, like, who would we have as our? Would it be Gomez, Konate, and Van Dijk? I think with the 3-4-3, it's very difficult to play in the Premier League. We saw the likes of Ruben Amorim have really big issues with that being the case, and yeah, I don't think so. Gomez is never helped the team ever even 1 week. I don't know why he hasn't been sold yet. It's an unfortunate situation how his career at Liverpool has gone on. I'll be real, dude, because I like Joe Gomez, but he's gotten very, very injured. There was a time where we could have sold Joe Gomez and got a good amount of money for him. And I think that, like, yeah, we all talk about how Joe Gomez gets injured all the time, but is that partially to blame with the fact that he's not regularly getting first-team football enough? I think that could be a big issue, given that he just doesn't ever play. Like, that's a big thing with me, man. Like, you need first-team football to be able to basically stay fit and stay match fit and not pick up injuries. Farajowski said Ruben was awesome in the second season. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Ruben Amorim is widely regarded as the worst manager Manchester United have ever had. Stop that. Not the system was the problem. What are you talking about? It was the problem. Amorim sucked. I think that's pretty well known. Like, Like, yeah, I think we definitely need to get Slot out. That's the foremost. That should be the foremost priority of Liverpool Football Club. Um, yeah. If any of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, please click subscribe. I think I have alerts up for whenever anyone subscribes. I was supposed to have it up, and I think we got a couple subscriptions, but I didn't. I think there was an error in the back end on my part. So if you guys are watching along, please hit subscribe. Farajowski said he beated Pool. I think you mean he beat Pool. Beated, contrary to popular belief, is not a word. So please revisit the grammar there, Farajowski, and return, and we can have a conversation about that. And if you're talking about this season, I don't know if I know you, and I know you watched Liverpool. We suck this season. So, using, like, Bournemouth have beaten Liverpool. My camera said how we can sack FSG. No, you can't blame FSG. Because realistically, they've invested a shit ton of money this previous transfer window for the first time. Literally, honestly, we were better when FSG didn't invest a lot of money into the club. Then they do. We start spending hundreds of millions of pounds, and it goes bad. Farajewski said, "Sorry, English is not my first." My bad then. I apologize then. I kind of feel like shit now because I was calling you out on spelling it bad. We're square. We're even then because you did use improper English, but if it's not your first language, that's understandable. And I apologize for, potentially being a little bit of an asshole. But fuck United. Let's get that. And Ruben Amorim sucked. I hold by that, but the maybe being mean about the whole English thing, improper grammar, I feel bad. I keep getting like a whole bunch of shit of like chats and stuff like that being like, hey, come here and use a viewer bot. I won't do it. I want organic viewers. I won't do it. That's not how I do things. All right? I do things organically. But yeah, realistically, Arne Slot's got to go. I think the obvious replacement would be Xabi Alonso. I'll be interested to see how the club, the hierarchy at Liverpool, respond following this loss. Because at a certain point, I understand that in a perfect world, if the club are going to part ways with Slot, that we're going to do it at the end of the season. Because that's how Liverpool do things. Typically, we're, just to give respect to the manager and stuff like that, right? But with all of that being said, how bad do we have to get before we have to make a decision at the manager? Because realistically, also too, along with this, right? We have Liverpool in a situation where we need to get top 4 football. That needs to be the priority of the club. And I don't think we're going to if we continue playing the way we have. So what's the deal? How bad do we get before we make a change? Like, do we just not win a game for 2 months in the Premier League? Like, what has to happen for a change to be made? Because we could see a situation where Xabi Alonso goes to a different club in the summer. Like, I just don't understand it. I really don't. I need to know what changes, what results, we have not won a game in the Prem in 2026. What else needs to happen for a change to be made? Like, I need to, like... Yeah. It sucks. It sucks. I don't know what the answer is, guys. All I know is the manager needs to go. Oh, shit. 5th place, about 1 to 2 months. That's what you think, Farajowski? You think 1 to 2 more months of just being this ass? No. I think at that point the club are just going to wait until the end of the season. Then at that point, like, I'll be real, dude. Like, I don't see that being the case. I think we're past the point of realistically any excuse for why he should remain in the job. This run of results can't happen. Xabi Alonso is available. Come on. You know? Come on. Let's all be real here. A change needs to occur. Just sucks. It just sucks. I'm going to go through some other results that have happened today in the Prem. Obviously you guys can pipe up in the chat. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts on everything as well. Because, we're talking about Andy Robertson potentially going to Tottenham, but Tottenham drew Burnley. So, I do understand. I forget who was saying it in the chat. Let me scroll up here. I think it was Nico. Yeah, Nico said he doesn't want to be a part of the... So how do you want Alonso and think 3-4-3 won't work? That's his style. He's going to have to adapt. Like, that's the thing. Is like, I understand that's his style and stuff like that, but Liverpool are not in a position to where, number one, I question if a 3-4-3 can really work in the Premier League currently. We saw United not play well with it. Ultimately, I think if a 3-4-3 was to work in the Prem, you need to have the right players at your disposal, and I don't think Liverpool have that currently. So there's going to have to be drastic changes that occur for a 3-4-3 to work. But on top of that, I think realistically, if we're going to see him come in the winter, he's going to have to play with 4 at the back. Like, I understand that's your style, but you don't have the players necessary and at your disposal to play that 3-4-3. You're going to have to play like some variation of a 3-4-3 or a 4-3-3. Sorry, I'm just throwing out numbers too much and confusing myself. Going through some of the other results this weekend in the Premier League. West Ham 3-1 against Sunderland. That's a big result for West Ham, and ultimately that's a big result to keep kind of the relegation battle a little bit interesting. We know Wolves are going to go down. We're all fairly under the impression that Burnley will as well. West Ham seem to be the third team, but West Ham are playing all right now. Let's be honest. Like, I think that's 2 wins on the bounce. Yeah, beat Spurs at Spurs, and then just beat Sunderland at home. Looks like their next game is against Chelsea, so I expect them to lose that game. But ultimately, West Ham making the relegation battle at least a little interesting. Farajowski said, we played well in 3-4-3. Let's be honest. Please throw away the bias. We had the biggest XG in the whole league. United didn't play well in the 3-4-3. United's best game this season was last week when you didn't play a 3-4-3. No, you didn't play well in the 3-4-3. That's not even me being biased. That's just what I think. Lil Gomi is now following. Thank you for the follow, brother. Appreciate the follow. Moving on. Burnley and Spurs draw. That's another thing I saw in the chat that I think it was it Cameron or was it? It was Nico. I was talking about, well, Andy Robertson wants to leave because it's just a toxic situation at Liverpool. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I'll be real, dude. I think I don't think Tottenham is like a better situation to go to. It's worse than Liverpool. I think just realistically it comes down to he'll play first team football at Tottenham. But I don't see why the club. I think what it is he wants to play first team football. He would like to do it at Liverpool. Liverpool are not giving him that option. I think he should get more starts, and it should be a little bit more of a competition with the likes of Kirkez, because I don't think Kirkez has been the most unbelievable player I've ever seen before in my life. Up and down, inconsistent. But the answer to this, I don't think, is selling Andy Robertson and picking up the likes of, or recalling the likes of Costa Simicas. I don't think that's the answer. Fulham beat Brighton 2-1. Good result. City beat Wolves 2-0. Not the most shocking thing in the world, but I think that was a result that City needed to get back on track, of course, after the loss against Bodo Glimt and the earlier. But yeah, I think a good result for Manchester City. Yeah, like I said, I think it's a good result. Yeah. I don't know. I think what's Liverpool's next run of games? I know we have a Champions League game that we should win. It's against a team that I quite literally have never even heard of, I believe, unless I'm completely mistaken. FK Qarabağ on Wednesday. If we don't win that game, Arne Slot needs to be banished from Liverpool Football Club. Don't even sack him. If we lose that game, Arne Slot needs to be banished. That's what needs to happen. Okay? All things considered, that's my thoughts. Then we play Newcastle next week on Saturday at 3 p.m. That could be dangerous. Because if we lose or if we don't win at home against Newcastle, I'm not even going to put loss or draw because we just haven't won, right? We would then have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be our 6th game in the Prem that Liverpool have not won a game. 6 games in the Prem in 2026. Yeah. Cameron said, can we use Robbo to get Van der Ven for $70 million? Could that be part of the deal? I wouldn't be surprised. And I'll be real, as much as I don't like this Robbo deal. Let's say the Van der Ven is 70 million. They're asking 70 million for him. Then we get like about 35. Let's say we get 40 million for Andy Robertson, right? Van der Ven then for like 30. I don't know. The problem with Van der Ven is he's extremely injury prone. Van der Ven, I'm pretty sure, has had like 4 or 5 hamstring injuries in the past couple of years. That's pretty significant and substantial. Like it's more than like 2 or 3. He's had several hamstring injuries, and I get it. He's rapid, so that is fun. But that many hamstring injuries is always going to concern me, no matter what. Always going to concern me. But, I mean, I would like Van der Ven at Liverpool. Hopefully, outside of that, I think 70 million would be crazy if that's what Tottenham want for him. But, of course, we're going to just sign another Dutch player because it's not that Arne Slot has a affinity or bias towards Dutch players. I don't think we've seen anything in this team that would indicate that would be the case. Nothing whatsoever would make me feel as though he might have a slight bias towards any Dutch players at all. Just kidding. He does. And it's Cody Gakpo, specifically. Cody Gakpo drives me insane. Talk about a player we need to sell. God. Not a bad player, either. Not good enough, though. You know? I think we bought Cody Gakpo for around $50 million if we could get around that same amount for him. I just think that would be good business, and then we can move elsewhere. Again, if someone's watching along and hasn't subscribed yet, can you subscribe? Because I want to see if the alerts work for subscriptions on YouTube now. I believe I multi-stream on other platforms. I believe that follow before was on a different platform. So for anyone watching along, please, please, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Or if you are subscribed, unsubscribe and then just, subscribe again so I can try to see the alert. Szoboszlai scored an amazing free kick. Yeah, he did. That was a beauty. It was a beauty from Szoboszlai. He's really, really getting, extremely good at free kicks. Extremely good at free kicks. I love Szoboszlai. I think the unfortunate thing for Sobo this year has been that Liverpool have been as poor as we have been, because from an individual perspective, he's been unbelievable for us. That's my thoughts on the matter anyway. For any of you guys that are watching along, it's just as a little reminder in case you're not familiar that I have a speak pipe. Lunch is now following. Lunch, thank you very much. For any of you guys that want to, I have a speak pipe down below in my description. A speak pipe down below in my description. What this is it offers you the opportunity to call in and leave a voicemail on the stream. If you want your voice heard. Otherwise, get below in the chat for sure. But I just wanted to point that out. It's down below in my description. But if you do leave a speak pipe voicemail, please make sure to shoot me a message in the chat. Let me know just so I can go over and play it. Like I said, you'll be able to leave a voicemail, either asking a question, get your voice out there, get your opinion out there if you want to let me know what you think, whether it be on this Liverpool situation, football related, or anything of the sort, even if it's just I really don't even care. You can just ask me whatever you want. Obviously keep it clean, keep it. Don't say anything heinous. That would really bother me if you said something that was not good. I don't even know. I'm trying to think of the word that I want to use, but it looks like, I have the alerts up for other, alright, because I multi-stream through OBS when I stream, and I have it open for two other ones, but I haven't seen the subscribe button work for YouTube yet. I'm currently, as it stands, if I'm not mistaken, I'm currently 13 subscribers away from 1,000 subs. Once I get to 1,000 subscribers, nobody can tell me anything. What a little landmark that would be. Ultimately, it's probably... I'd like to hear what people's opinions are in the chat. I would say this is arguably one of the worst times to be a Liverpool fan in recent memory. Terrible, terrible time to be a Liverpool fan. And now, granted, I say one of the worst times to be a Liverpool fan in recent memory because ultimately we've been spoiled. Look, I grew up supporting Liverpool, and I'm no spring chicken. I'm damn near 30 years of age. So I remember what Liverpool were like in the 2000s and 2010s, especially the early 2010s. Not good, bruv. It was a struggle, and we've been very, very fortunate to see our team win the trophies that they have, but it sucks to see us on top of the world make critical investments into the team and then result in us not improving, but rather digressing. That sucks. So, yeah. We'll have to see. I'd like to see the club make some more signings. I know Slot has talked about how the club aren't going to make any more signings. Specifically, I'd like to see us make a signing at center back because Joe Gomez gets injured quite often, and we don't know what the future is of Ibrahima Konate. But I don't know if we're going to. I think it's probably unlikely that we would, and that sucks. It's not fun. I not winning a game at this point in 2026, if we don't win a game in the Prem this month, he has to go. He has to go. Because it's not an isolated incident. It's not like Liverpool were playing great prior to this run of form occurring. We weren't. We were playing, frankly, pretty shitty. So, yeah. I hope things turn around. You know, I'd like to know what you guys think as well of the United Arsenal game tomorrow. Who do you think is going to win? Get below in the chat. Get in the speak pipe. Let me know. I want to hear from you guys. I want your opinions on the matter. It's not just about what I think. I want to hear what you guys have to think as well. I want your opinions on everything. It's important to me. And thank you for you guys that have been watching along with me as well. I've seen that we've had like about 6 of you that have been just strong watching most of the stream, and I really do appreciate that because I streamed earlier in the week and it was we were not getting the same results. So I appreciate you guys. Let me pop my damn chain, baby. Got UFC tonight as well. I'm so excited for that. It's going to allow me to drown out the fact that Liverpool have been absolutely abysmal, depressing, terrible, horrendous. It's been something, guys. It's been something. Salah didn't play great today either. I mean, I don't think Salah's been that great this season, just in general. But I wasn't too impressed with him. Like I said, and I said this a little bit earlier in the chat, bringing on young Rio and Gamoa in a game like this where we're chasing, I think it's unfair to put that urgency and requirement for us to get ahead on a player that young. I thought that was kind of bullshit, frankly. And I granted, like I say that. I think that was bullshit. But I also do recognize that was probably predicated on the Newcastle game previous in the season where he scored the winner. Obviously, we had that beautiful dummy from Dominic Szoboszlai right through the legs to Rio and Gamoa. Back post, buried it. Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'd like to know what you guys think. I mean, he is a player that's in the first team match squad regularly. So maybe I'm being a little bit of a bitch by saying that that's not fair. But, All right, we got Farajowski said, can you tell me what is the problem with Milos? I watched him in real life. He was unbelievable back then. He played for my local club. That's pretty cool, man. Are you Hungarian, Farajowski? I would love to know. I mean, yeah, I would assume if it was your local. Or maybe you... I don't know. Anyway, what is the problem with Milos? I don't know, because the thing is if he was just playing bad, all the time, I would feel a particular way about it. But I feel like with Kirkez, it's a very, very inconsistent. Oh, you're Hungarian. Hell yeah, that's pretty cool. I feel like with Kirkez, it's very inconsistent, man. I think there's a really good player there. We saw it when he was at Bournemouth, for sure. He was a good player. But, like, I don't know. I just don't feel as though he's been consistent. I don't feel as though in I almost even want to say in big games, because we've had big games where he's played well and then played lesser opponents and he hasn't performed well. It's just really, really inconsistent. He played well midweek in the Champions League against Marseille. Obviously, like I said, I think that Marseille was a little bit of a lesser opponent, but like, I don't know what it is with him. I just, because there's clearly a player there, but he's been shit for us on numerous occasions. I got a lot of respect for him, but like, he hasn't been great, and we saw that today in the second goal. A lot of people were pointing towards Van Dijk keeping, I believe it was Jimenez onside, but I think it was really, really obvious that Kirkez just didn't track his runner, and that was a big catalyst. But yeah, yeah, I don't know, man. He's just so inconsistent. It's so inconsistent. I saw we just got a big pop in the concurrent viewers, guys. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm 13 subscribers away from 1,000. Please get in the chat. Let me know your thoughts on Liverpool, thoughts on the Premier League. Click the speak pipe in the description as well, so you guys can leave a voicemail, play it live on stream if you want to get your voice heard. But I really do appreciate you guys watching along with me. Yeah, a lot of people have like talked about Kirkez being a big flop. Definitely from what I expected, and I expected really big things from him. So I do think that the expectations were really high from Kirkez, but like, it's just been so inconsistent from him. He started off kind of poor, then we've seen numerous games where Kirkez has really, really come into his own and played well, Farajowski. But yeah, it's so inconsistent. It's unfortunate because it's frustrating, because it's like, if he just wasn't panning out. It's similar to like kind of Wirtz, where it's like we're seeing good games from them. So you know that it's not just an out and outright flop. You know that there's a player there. Like, you know that he can perform at the top level, but you're just not seeing it. You know what I mean? Like, it's so frustrating in my opinion. Like, I want him to play well. I like, same thing for Frimpong. I think Frimpong's a really, really good player as well. So I really, really want these guys to play well. But he's been probably more than Frimpong, in my opinion, inconsistent. I think Frimpong's struggled with some injuries, some knocks and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see, man. It's something. And I think that that's a lot of players. I think that's even players, not even like some of the new signings like Wirtz, Kirkez, or Frimpong. I think even some of our, best our players that have been at the club for a while have been inconsistent this season. Salah, McAllister, I think, has been inconsistent at times. Van Dijk hasn't been at his best. I think that today was a reflection of it, even though he got a goal. Yeah. It's tough. Liverpool fans are in the trenches right now. Let's just call it as it is. In the trenches. We all know what it is. We're not hiding from it. If he does get sacked, I'm going to be really, really interested to see when he gets sacked. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm I'm interested, to say the least. I don't necessarily know if he's going to get sacked. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It sucks. It sucks. Let's just be real here. It blows. It sucks. You know? And the only thing I can think of, to be honest with you, is just signing a center back in the winter transfer window. I don't think Liverpool should make any changes, maybe to like signing a midfielder or signing a forward or something like that, because I think we have options in those areas. I think the big thing for Liverpool really needs to be making sure that we get a center back, because I think that that's the big concern. I think that there are options out there. Mickey van der Ven got brought up in the chat just a bit ago. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know if that'll really happen. Yeah. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. I'd love to know what you guys think. Like, do you think Slot will get sacked? Like, soon? This result today, to me, was kind of... It made me think he may. I'll be real. It legitimately, this result, Cameron Fox said, "My friend, in the future, can you start putting up when the manager press conference happen so we can listen to it even though it's not going right?" Do you want me to stream, like share my screen and put up like when Slot is talking at post match? Even though it's not going right? Sorry, I just am a little confused with what you mean by that, Cameron. I'm assuming you mean like stream the the press conference and share it on my screen, please. I'll try to do that in the future. Yeah, I'll try to do that in the future. I'll try to pop it up on YouTube for you so you can watch along as well. I don't know if he has come out and talked yet. Let me see. Arne Slot post-match interview. Oh, I guess it's happened. Hold on one sec. Hold on. I might get it up for you right now, Cameron. Just wait one sec. Just wait one sec, because I do sometimes get... my browser is a bit slow when I am streaming on OBS, like my streaming software. My browser goes really, really slow during that. But I'm going to see if I can try to get the post-match press conference up right now, and I'll share it on my screen. Because it's not a terrible idea. Farajowski said, "Can Liverpool get anyone better now? I think no, except Klopp or Amorim." You were tripping on that last. Amorim? Come on. Come on. Amorim? I'd rather Slot. Amorim's shit. Get out of here with that Amorim talk, Farajowski. You got... oh, yeah, you put the laughing emojis on it, too. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. I figure that that's probably a troll. Amorim sucks. Yeah. Oh, here we go. I don't know if this will work just because the PC that I use sucks, but I'm going to try, Cameron. I'm going to see if I can get this up and running for you. Alright. Hold on one sec. I went to my personal... It's taken a little bit longer, too, because I went to my personal YouTube account just to get no ads while I stream this. I'm going to give it a go if it starts getting laggy, and you guys will have to let me know in chat if it starts getting laggy. Let me know, but hold on one sec. This is what we're going to do. Okay. All right. Arne Slot's post-match press conference. I'm just going to pause it momentarily just because it's a bit laggy. So, let me see if I can get it going better now. Sorry, this is just because I have a shitty PC. All right.
Beth?
I know obviously another late defeat. It's 5 goals conceded after the 90th minute this season in the Premier League, and all of those games have ended in 100 points. So how frustrating to do that again today?
Yeah, frustrating, of course, because conceding a goal is always frustrating. But especially if there's no time left to come back into the game. But I think it's safe to say that they could have scored the 3-2 also a little bit earlier. What I mean with that, I think after we scored the 2-2, we were still trying, but I think it's safe to say that a few players of ours ran out of energy. And I cannot even criticize them for that, because 2 days ago we had to play an away game in Europe. We're the only team that played Champions League that has 2 days in between this time. After an away game, another away game against one of the most intense teams in the league. And I mainly, as you probably see, play the same players because of the players we have available. So then,
all I'm hearing are excuses. Yes, this sucks that you had to play midweek Champions League football. So does everyone. This is something that this is just football now. This is the state of the Premier League. This is the state of European football. This happens. I know it sucks. Bitching about it doesn't do anything. Also, you played Marseille and Bournemouth.
Should not have happened is that you have to win it in the end, because that's then more difficult, and that's what you saw in the last 10 minutes. I think for the rest of the game, it was completely different. I think there we dominated the game.
Sam? Clearly it was those 7 minutes where you give away those 2 goals sort of undermines everything.
Yeah.
You don't expect that from Van Dijk. He's had a great career, but these things seem to happen.
No, I don't think it's completely fair to Virgil to blame him for the first goal, because I think you could see throughout the game how much impact the wind had on certain balls. There was, I don't exactly know, but in the end of the game, Virgil hit a long ball towards Mo, and I was expecting it to go to the goalkeeper, but all of a sudden it fell to Mo. He wasn't the only one who had once in a while
Hang on. And I love Virgil van Dijk, and I understand protecting your players to a particular extent. That first goal was down to Virgil van Dijk. Are we all in agreement with this? Chat, you guys will have to let me know with this. But I think that it's not of throwing your... He made a mistake. Like, that's all right to say. The wind? The wind. Wow. Come off it.
struggled with the wind. Your other question was?
Just defensively, it was.
Oh no, that was only the only 7 minutes. Now I agree with you, but that's not the first time this season that has only been 7 minutes where I wouldn't even say we were struggling, but where the other team was part of the game as well. And in those 7 minutes we conceded 2. Of course, the second one was when we were down to 10. Because after the first goal, Joe Gomez had to go off with an injury. He wanted to try, thought he could, but then he couldn't. And maybe that sums up our season. It's every time something else. It's every time something special how we concede, but we concede, and the only ones to blame is ourselves.
Ayana, you mentioned that the tiredness creeping in. We've seen that in a few matches this season, and Bournemouth ran a bit more than Liverpool today. Just thinking back a year ago, Liverpool had all their players fit. For this match in particular, everyone was fit, everyone was fresh. Do you think maybe that have you changed something in training at all that it means that the players are getting a bit more tired now at all? Or what explains the tiredness coming in? Is my question.
Now, if Bournemouth had to run more than us, that is probably because we had 67% ball possession or something like that. So, but credits to them. That's definitely also one of their strengths. I think they're top in almost every statistic when it comes to running. That's why I think I have to credit my players. If you go 2-0 down, the way we did, and again we showed the mentality and the fitness to come back into the game against one of the fittest teams in the league, and they only have to play once a week, of course, that helps. And that's not an excuse, because a club like Liverpool is used to playing 3 times a week, but we mainly do this.
Chat, am I the only one that is getting sick and tired of these managers when they consistently have to bring up... Cameron just said excuse FC at the moment. We just consistently just bitch about the fact that we have to play several games. Like, this happens. This is modern football. It sucks. Stop complaining about it.
With the same players, and maybe last season that was a bit different. Last season we did not have 3 long-term injuries as we have now. As you could see in our lineup, I decided not to play Hugo. That wasn't because I didn't like him or he wasn't good against Marseille. That's simply because I have only one number 9 available for the upcoming weeks and months. He was out 2 weeks ago. I was all with so many games to play. You have to manage his minutes, and I think for Jeremy Frimpong it's safe to say the same. In the end, just before I took him off, in the first half he was getting things, and after half time, I think I could see the energy running out of him a little bit as well. So yeah, the end result is that you then play 2 players not in their favorite position with Ouattara and Dom. By the way, they did well, but it's the reality of this moment.
The goal that was conceded when there were 10 men on the pitch, there were 10 men on the pitch for Liverpool for quite a while.
Yeah.
Nobody put the ball out of play. Was that something that frustrated you? Is that just one of those things for you?
No, I tried to scream towards them to put the ball out of play, but actually we were quite comfortable. I think we kept the ball for quite a long time. And then when we lost it, it was the opposite. Bournemouth kept it, which is a bit easier maybe if you play against them. But even if you are down to 10, I think the way we conceded that goal was not specifically because we were down to 10 men. It's just a winger that is surprising our fullback in a situation where we could have done better.
I agree, Cameron.
But of course, maybe when we were 11, the player that had the assist couldn't have gone as far as he could now. So yeah.
Johnny? Arne, what's the injury to Joe Gomez, and is there any chance of bringing in a defender to reinforce you, because you're so short now?
Now? Are we now short?
Well, you've been short before.
That's your opinion, Joe got an...
Hold on. That's the reporter's opinion that we're short on center backs? That's not an opinion. That is a stone cold fact. Okay? Obviously, the situation with Konate being away from the squad, you can't predict that. Hopefully he's dealing with family stuff. Prayers to him and his family. But even independent of that, our 3 center back options are Virgil van Dijk, Ibu Konate, Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez gets injured quite often. You can never, ever, ever, ever believe that Joe Gomez is just going to be fit. That you can't expect that. So that's just bullshit and frankly rude to say that to the reporter. Oh, that's your opinion. It's a factual thing. It's a factual thing. Lost sound here for a moment.
Now? Are we now short?
Well, you've been short before.
That's your opinion, Joe got a knock from Ali. His knee went into, I think, somewhere over here. I think it was bone on bone. So yeah, you could see he was just not able to continue. And Ali had quite some fluid in his knee. Is that the way you say? Swelling in his knee. So yeah, I don't know if Joe is going to train in 2 or 3 days. That's difficult for me to say. But it was clear that he couldn't go on today.
Last couple of them, those.
What's the latest on Andy Robertson? Do you think he's going to be able to play from the end of January?
What do you think my answer is going to be?
Do you?
Have I ever said anything about transfers in front of this microphone? No. So my answer is always the same, and it's quite boring to always give the same answer. By the way, my press conference after the game are also constantly the same. And the answer is we don't talk about transfers in public, not as long as there's something to say.
Was Kirkhouse tactical, or was there an injury there as well?
No, there was not an injury. And I wouldn't say it was tactical. It was obvious already before the game that it wasn't smart to play him another 90. There's a lot to be said about the players I constantly play, and I have to keep them fit. I have to manage their load. And it was yesterday when performance staff came to me and said, if we would have had an extra day, he wouldn't have trained yesterday to recover a little bit more. So then you're always in a certain risk zone. And I
Slot out, you're on the money, Kieran.
already had to make a substitution in the first half. So that means if you leave him on and you take him out after 60 minutes, your second substitution is left. So that's why I decided to take him off at halftime, because it was always the intention to take him off somewhere during the second half. And I did it now a little bit earlier.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, we're gonna I'm just gonna get it set up here for a second. We're gonna get a Virgil van Dijk interview as well. I just need to get it all set up in the background here. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this interview from Slot post match. I'm pretty sure. So we have a Virgil van Dijk post match interview, and then I guess there was another interview that Arna did that post match that I think. Hold on, I just saw something that maybe said that Arne Slot's been sacked. I don't think it was true. I think it was. I think it's fake. Yeah, definitely got to be fake. If anything, I'm gonna rely on you guys. If anything else comes to it, though, you have to get in the chat and let me know. Just 1 sec. I'm going to get Van Dijk's interview up here on the screen so we can react to that as well. All right. Sorry, guys. Just pulling this up in the background right now. You'll have to forgive me. My PC is just always so damn slow for whatever reason. And then after this, we're going to have another interview from Slot that we're going to play. Hold on. Okay. And Farajowski, no, I do think he's that bad.
Well, Virgil, having fought so hard.
No.
Well, Virgil, having fought so hard to get back to 2-2, just how disappointing is it to come away with nothing in the end?
Very disappointed. And yeah, last minute of the game, very tough to take. But like you said, we worked very hard second half, especially to get back in the game. And obviously at times we were open as well, obviously on the counter, because we're trying to push for the winner. But yeah, to concede that late is very disappointing.
You look to be venting frustration.
No.
With the officials at the end there, what was being said?
Obviously, what I felt on that pitch was that I was clearly blocked. But obviously, the ref and the VAR don't give it, and that's something we didn't have to accept. But in my opinion, I was blocked. But listen, I can stand here and say, should it not be given, but it is given, and it is what it is.
I suppose whilst there was a huge positive that you did manage to come back to 2-2, ultimately, I suppose you'll reflect that you gave yourselves too much to do at 2-0 down. How do you make sense of that 7 minutes where Bournemouth went 2 ahead?
Well, the first goal, I think it was a difficult ball to judge. During the circumstances, the wind was very tricky. I think you saw it, especially when we played long balls on that side, and it was very difficult to judge. So to concede that one is obviously it's not an issue, but obviously it doesn't, because I think we controlled the game quite well before that. And then obviously when we were with 10 men, you can argue that you have to maybe kick the ball out or not. But yeah, to concede that 2 goals in short period is obviously not good at all. But I think the goal I scored before half-time was very important in terms of getting that momentum and the feeling for the second half back. And I think we showed the second half. We worked so hard to get back into the game with a great free kick. I think we had some good opportunities as well. But in the end, the throw-in that cost us.
You mentioned there perhaps the indecision as to whether or not Alisson should have kicked the ball out when Joe Gomez was injured.
Oh, come on.
All out when Joe Gomez was injured.
It's not an Alisson. I think as a team, maybe. Well, obviously, after a game or after a moment like that, it's easy to say, "Oh, yeah, you should have done this or that." So.
Where do you feel perhaps responsibility should lie? Is it from your manager? Is it as a team you should be communicating more amongst yourselves?
It is just a very split second. I think now it's easy to discuss this and say you should have done this and that, and I know that's what will happen. But we decided to keep the ball because we had the possession, and eventually they had it, and obviously a good ball from them in behind, and unfortunately for us, the goal we conceded.
Having got back into the game, so many of those teams directly below you trying to get a Champions League place play tomorrow. Does it feel like missed opportunity?
Losing never feels good, and especially as a Liverpool player. And think this season we're trying to find consistency. We had a fantastic performance midweek, and we were trying to do that this today as well. Very demanding game, of course, under the circumstances, the intensity that obviously Bournemouth bring anyway. So, yeah, it's a tough one to take, but Wednesday will be another game, and we go home now and focus on that one.
I suppose it's been a week, hasn't it, where the pendulum has swung.
Mind Trap, is that true that allegedly is Robbo going for $3 million? Is that true? $3 million's insane. I mean, I know his contract expires at the end of the transfer window, but £3 million? If that's the truth, come on. That's insane.
So much with the disappointment after Burnley. You mentioned there the highs of Marseille and then disappointment here today. Is it testing you as a group, that sort of togetherness, keeping in the right direction?
Well, I don't think there's any question about our togetherness, but the consistency that we're looking for, that's something still need to be found, and that's the reality. I think there was a lot of praise of our performances and a lot of individual praises. And we know how it works, and 3 days later you lose a game like we did today, and then the other side of the world comes out. So that's something we have to deal with, but we want to perform, we want to win games, and today it didn't happen, unfortunately.
Alright, not too much there from Verge. I think that is to be expected a bit as well. Ultimately, yeah, I think it's just a shit game, to be honest. And the problem with Verge is obviously it's gotta suck because he's the captain. After a result like that, you have to come out almost and talk to the media and things of that nature. But it's gotta suck because you definitely don't want to. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Don't forget to jump in the speak pipe and send me a voicemail. I'll play it live on stream to hear what you guys got to say about it as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm 13 subscribers away from 1,000. Is it 13? That's what I'm tracking. Hopefully one of you will sub, and I'll be just that little bit closer. Yeah. It sucks. It sucks. I feel for Verge, Mindtrap said, still on the bargain, 3 to 5 mil, champ. Damn, dude. Even 5. Like, if we got in, the 10, I'd be like, all right, it's, I love Robbo, but, maybe that's, damn, bro. 3 to 5 mil. That's not good, bruv. That just is not good. Ah, shit. Alright. I got another video I'm going to play here in just a moment. It's Slot apparently explaining his anger towards the officials. Different than the interview I just had with Slot just a moment ago. About 4 minute interview. Just gonna give it a second to load. All right, here we go. Oh.
That must hurt you, scratching your head a little bit at how you've come away from that empty-handed in the end.
YouTube Shorts for You Twin said, how long till Slot is sacked? I think that is the question, brother. I think if I had my way with everything, I would get this joke out as soon as possible. Because, I don't want to call him a joke. That's a bit disrespectful, and I kind of feel like shit saying that. But unfortunately, the reality is Liverpool have been ass, and we need to make a change. I don't know. I hope we make the change now. I've always thought that this would be a change that we're going to make towards the end of the season, but we'll have to wait and see, guys. All right, here's this interview.
What on earth, that must hurt you, scratching your head a little bit at how you've come away from that empty-handed in the end.
Yeah, although we were 2-0 down, of course, at a certain point. But good comeback, although it didn't feel to me that we deserved to be 2-0 down at the moment we were. But players reacted really well. We came back to 2-2. And I think then in the end it was a very open game where both teams had their chances. They probably even more than us, which doesn't come as a complete surprise to me, knowing that we've played 2 days ago at Marseille. And for the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games, we mainly have to play with the same players for the players we have available. And then sometimes a few of them could be in the end of the game a bit tired, and I think that's what you could see today in the end as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask, was it credit to Bournemouth's perseverance in the end, or are you finding you're looking at yourselves a little bit? It also looked like you were a bit frustrated with the officials at the final whistle.
I think first of all we have to look at ourselves, and in the end of the game it was more open. Both teams were trying to score a goal. They had better opportunities than us in the last 10 minutes. And then in the end there is a long throw in, which led for them to a goal. For me, 4 minutes of added time was by far not enough, but in the end that didn't matter because they scored, although maybe we could have had then 2 or 3 minutes, but this game should not have had 4 minutes of extra time. There was one free kick that already took 2 or 3 minutes. There were VAR moments, there were substitutions, so that was what I said to them in extra time, that 4 minutes wasn't enough, but yeah, they scored in extra time.
Whilst you did find a way back to the 2-2, I suppose ultimately you gave yourselves a lot to do with those 2 Bournemouth goals inside 7 minutes of that first half. How did you see that period of the game?
YouTube Shorts for You Twins said, is there a signing you think that could solve Liverpool's problems quickly? I don't think so, I'll be honest. I think Liverpool's problems are going to be mainly a result of the manager, but I think Liverpool getting another center back would be beneficial. You know, we were just watching the other interview from Slot where he claimed that we're not depleted at center back. I think we are. I think we need to make a change at center back, or pick in a center back. And we need to play different. We need to play a different style of football. I think if you look at this Liverpool team, do I think the players at our disposal necessarily? It's an expectation for us to be just running away with the Premier League. No, I don't. But I do think that when it comes down to this team, I think we have the players to be in a better position than we are. The title of this stream is Liverpool haven't won a game in 2020, Premier League game in 2026. That shouldn't be the case. Liverpool need to get results against teams like Leeds, who we drew at home, like Burnley, who we drew at home. And then, of course, today, Bournemouth away. These are results that we need to. Luke Glass said he's trying to gaslight us. Yeah, a bit. I wouldn't say he isn't. Liverpool have the players to get these results that I'm talking about, man. And I think that we aren't playing a style of football that's contingent with us getting those results. Center back would be good, but yeah, I think it's the style of football, and I think it's the manager.
It's difficult because I think the moment we could.
I'm just going to rewind a little bit.
Period of the game.
It's difficult because I think the moment we conceded, there wasn't a thought in my head that could happen because I think we played a game where a lot of times our players were in very promising position, and it felt to me that it was waiting for the right moment and for the right execution and the right pass for us to score a goal, and then we conceded one.
Van der Ven, YouTube Shorts.
The adjustment of a long ball and the wind had impact on that ball, and then we went down to 10 men because of that goal, and we were down to 10 and they scored their second, and that was the only few minutes apart from the last 10 minutes I think where we had some problems with them, but the result is another loss.
So the trouble was you were a man down for that second goal, and it looked like you were doing everything you could to gesture to the players, kick the ball out, let's get him on the pitch. How do you see it now? Is it with regret? Perhaps you didn't get the player on sooner.
Mindtrap said, have you noticed there's no fight in this team no more? No one is emotionally invested enough like in Klopp era. I've seen players under Klopp and I see them now. Yeah, it definitely is a different vibe around our current roster. I agree. I think that results have a big impact with that. I think a lot of people point at Slot for the reason why that's the case. But I do think that the results have a bit. I think Slot is the reason for the results which have affected the morale of the players. I think that's the big one. I don't think he's the same type of guy as Klopp, where I felt as though Klopp as a person really impacted the players, but I think that's just Klopp being one of a kind. I don't think he's the same type of dude, but yeah, I have noticed that for sure.
Pitch. How do you see it now? Is it with regret? Perhaps you didn't get the player on sooner. Is it the player's responsibility to kick the ball out?
You can bring a player on sooner if the ball is not out of play. And the player was injured, Joe Gomez. The moment when he was injured, he said, I want to keep on trying, which is, I think, what most players try to do if they get a knock. But when we started playing, he said, no, it's not possible. I can't go back in. So yeah, then it is the best thing what can happen is go to 11 men as soon as possible. We had the chance because we were quite a long time in ball possession, but we kept it. And the moment we lost it, it took us a long time. We couldn't make a foul or to get the ball out of play. And then the ball went in when we were down to 10.
Just finally, there's been a lot of headlines linking Andy Robertson with a move away to Spurs. I suppose you brought him on at half-time. Says you need him.
I think I need all my players, but Robbo had to come in at half-time. In my opinion, I always knew that for Milos, another 90 minutes against a very intense Bournemouth side was not a possibility for him. So I always knew I had to bring him in, but I had already had one substitution in the first half. Then you don't have another. Then you only have 2 moments left. So I thought let's bring Robbo in at half-time to make sure that Milo stays available for the rest of the season, because there are a lot of games to be played with the players available. I have to manage that as well, because the last thing we could need right now is another injury.
Appreciate your time today.
Yeah, I'll just be honest, guys. I don't really love that response about the Robbo situation. I mean, I think from his perspective, it's a good response because it ultimately just kind of, he doesn't really have to address the rumors about Robbo leaving the club. You guys will have to let me know what you think about that down in the chat as well, and get in the speak pipe too. Leave a voicemail for the stream, of course. But yeah, I don't love it because it doesn't really talk about whether or not the rumors are true. I don't know if they're true. I assume that they are because just it's reputable sources that are reporting on all of it. But of course, we'll have to wait and see. But let me know what you guys think. Also, too, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm like 12 subs away from 1,000. So that's awesome. 12 subs away from 1,000 subscribers. That is so cool, guys. I do have to tell you, thank you very much for any and all of you who support the channel. Tony Schiavone says, it's beyond a joke. How on earth has it come to this? I think it just comes down to shitty style of football, Tony. I think that's what it is, man. I think, and then I think a little bit, Mindtrap was talking about it in the chat a little bit ago, saying that, the morale has gone down. I think that has a huge part of it. But it is a joke. We need to make a change at manager. I think it's coming. Hopefully it's coming. It just sucks, man. It just sucks. We're like, I question if he'll be sacked as a result of this match. I don't think he's going to, just being honest. I think, he's I think he's probably going to remain as the manager. At least Liverpool, I think, unfortunately, are going to have to get to a point where we are just completely, up shit's creek without a paddle. You know, Ashley Elizabeth said, "What's up, Limo? What's going on, Ash?" Mindtrap said, "It's funny, Limo, but as much as I want him gone, he beat our most likely next being Xavi. Shows glimpses of how good this team could be, but till when?" Next being, he beat Xabi Alonso in when Real came to Anfield in the Champions League. Yeah, dude, that I think it's. I'll be real, Mindtrap. I think it's almost unfair. Ashley said, "Wow, you're so close to 1,000 subs." I am. Dude. I might hit it. You never know, baby. I might hit it this stream. I think that Xabi's time at Real, I think it's unfortunate. I think that is a situation to where you had those players just turn on him, man, in an unfair way. I think it's bullshit how he was treated by the players and the superstars and the prima donnas that are at Real Madrid. I think it was bullshit. And I think that was a reflection of the game at Anfield. Let's be real. I know damn well, given the whole Trent situation, I think that Anfield was rocking for that game, and I think the players showed up and played well. Here's one thing. If Liverpool play Real Madrid and Connor Bradley's on the pitch, whoever is playing on the left wing for Real Madrid, you're not getting past him. Like, there's one thing for sure. Connor Bradley versus Real Madrid, you're going to get a generational performance out of Connor Bradley, and we saw that, I think. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, that Slot beat Xabi at Anfield in the Champions League, but I think that the whole Xabi Alonso thing at Real Madrid was unfair to him, man. I think he was treated unfairly. I think that those players should be frankly ashamed of themselves because they basically just helped get their manager sacked, and but we'll see. I'd love to know what you guys think about, if we're gonna wait on the Alonso appointment, if we're gonna wait on any sort of replacement, what do you guys think about Stevie Gerrard coming in? I mean, it's not the best decision, let's be honest, based on his track record. Most recently, he was obviously great at Rangers, but then I don't think that. I don't think Stevie was great when when he went to Aston Villa. I don't think Stevie was great when he went to the likes of Saudi. But let's be real, Stevie Gerrard coming to Liverpool, and even if it's in an interim level, it could be fun. It could be, the vibes would be high. And realistically, on the flip side of that, I think at the very least, I struggle to believe someone could do worse than Slot is doing right now. Like, we haven't won a game in the Prem in 2026. Like, will Stevie Gerrard do worse than that? I don't necessarily believe he will. I think there's a good chance Gerrard would do better. Like, honestly and truthfully, I really do believe that. I really, really do believe that. Let me see if there's any more post-match reactions to the game today. Don't look like it. Does not look like it. I think the Virgil and the Arna response, yeah, those are the two big ones. Yeah. Lissandro Flores says, "There goes our title chances, LMAO." Lissandro, I'll be honest with you, brother. I think that our title chances were kind of gone a couple months ago. I think they're definitely out now, but I think they've been gone for a little bit, man. I do. I don't think. We gained another sub. Thank you to whoever subbed. We haven't gotten the damn speak pipe, though. I have not gotten anyone to call in to the stream in quite some time. So, guys, if you want, get below in the description. Leave me a voicemail. I'll play it live on the stream. I really do appreciate all you guys watching along with me and things like that, though. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I've been going for about an hour 45. Hour 45. Good stream. Really, really good turnout. A lot of people hopping in the chat, talking along. Sometimes I try to stream midweek, and I tried to do that for the Champions League. Did not get the numbers that we got on this stream. So I'm definitely going to try to make every effort I can to stream on the weekends with you guys. Because it's important and it matters. Subscribe to the channel, too. Man, oh man. I'm going to run just to go to the bathroom real quick, guys. I would literally be back in 2 minutes. All right. Thanks, boys. Sorry about that. I had to piss, and I was waiting for forever. Definitely lost, like, a bunch of you when I had to go do that. But that's all right. Probably going to jump off the stream soon, but I want to get any last chats from you guys, any last thoughts about the situation before I hop off here. Like I said, subscribe to the channel. I'm literally, I think, 11. Hold on, let me refresh this. Yeah, 11 subs away from 1,000 subscribers. That is so cool, dude. That is awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait to hit that. That will be, is in the wise words of, well, I guess I was about to quote Kanye West, but I don't know if you can do that in today's day and age. I'll be honest with you. It's a dicey little character. I was about to say nah. But yeah, he says some wild shit nowadays, so I don't even know if I'm allowed to do that. Let's see if we got any speak pipes. No speak pipes. Crazy. I used to do that. I'm thinking about stopping doing it, but I used to have the speak pipe open, let you guys call into the stream, leave a voicemail, and I'd play it aloud. And definitely do it if anyone wants, but I feel like nobody does it anymore. It used to be so more popular when I would stream, but haven't got one in a while. All right, here we go. We got the Aussie Red Show said, no one believed me when I was slot out after our first 5 wins that the training wheels left by Klopp would eventually fall off. The games he won were clearly fractured. I do agree with you, Aussie Red. I 100% agree because, like, those results were very, very clearly and obviously luck in a lot of respects. And just some brilliant moments from some players that we had who are just quality. Like, we all knew, the quality of some of the players that were getting those late goals. I think if you were calling slot out at that time, that maybe is a little crazy. But I do understand what you're saying in the sense that it's like Liverpool have been concerning for quite some time now. It hasn't just been the recent run of forms. It's been way more. Limo, one question. Say your slot, how do you fix this? LOL, do you fix or go? I don't think if I'm slot, I would leave right now. I just don't think that him just leaving the club is a good... Well, I say that to say that if the club come to Slot and say, hey, we want to part ways, I think if you're Slot, then you do leave. Then just Aussie Red said selling Diaz was diabolical. At least Nunes pressed. I do agree with that. I think that if you're Slot and you fix this, it's quite simple. You play a front three that's going to press high up the pitch, press the back four of the opponent you're facing. Same thing in the midfield. Play a bit of a higher line in your back four, and really gegenpress, heavy metal football. Like it's almost frustrating with Slot because I guess the blueprint is there from what Klopp did. You know what's successful with this team and this club. You know what you need to do. I don't really understand why it's just all possession-based football and not emphasizing the things that are going to make Liverpool successful. I don't understand it. I think, like I said, the blueprint is there. Mind Trap. I think we just have to see if he's going to make the changes, because right now I think he's just been doing the same thing over and over. Club's got to make a decision on him. Like you said, but you said, LOL, do you fix it or do you go? I think that if he does go, whether I think it would be a sacking, but I think the club will word it in a way that they parted ways, similar to like how Real Madrid worded it with Xabi Alonso. Mindtrap said, this is all the foundations of Klopp gone. Take away the pressing, the intensity, and then what are you left with? You can still press with this team. Hugo Ekitike can press. Mohamed Salah can press. Florian Wirtz can press. Are they the same quality as the Salah of years ago? Bobby Firmino and Sadio Mane? I don't believe so. Frankly, I know so. I think we would get a lot better results if they were at that quality. But, I think these guys are good players. The mistakes at the back are concerning for me, especially with a player of the quality and experience of a Virgil van Dijk. But, yeah. We shall see. We shall. I definitely am concerned, though. Don't let that get taken away. I'm definitely concerned. I don't know what Slot's answer is going to be to all of this, but yeah. Josh Smith said, Liverpool. Thanks, Josh. Love that chat. Ashley said, miss having Firmino. Me too. One of the most underrated players that played for Liverpool. Josh Smith said, you'll never walk alone. Hell yeah, Josh. Get after it, brother. I love these chats from Josh. Just ripping a Liverpool and the you'll never walk alone. That's crazy. 27 concurrent viewers right now. That is bonkers, baby. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Get in the chat. Send a speak pipe in. Like the video as well. Here we go. The Aussie Red Show said, we sold our fighters for technicians, which is not the LFC way. Once upon a time, LFC had pressing machines. Fabinho, Henderson, Firmino, Mane, etc. Now we have quality technicians with no fight. Damn. The Aussie Red Show with a fucking bar, baby. I love that sentence. I love that sentence from him. That is awesome. That is so damn true. So damn true. Now we have, what did he say? Now we have quality technicians with no fight. I love that. Because I'll tell you what, those guys that you're talking about, let me tell you something. And I like this, the Aussie Red Show. Let me tell you something about Jordan Henderson. I had to listen to years of people talking about how Jordan Henderson wasn't that great. Technically, maybe not, but you look at that guy at Brentford now and he's still balling. He's still balling. Come on now. You don't get more fight than Fabinho and Jordan Henderson. You don't get more fight than that. That just doesn't exist. That just doesn't exist. They had to fight. Oh, I love that. People nowadays, they, for years I had to listen to people disrespecting Jordan Henderson, and it was bullshit. You're welcome, bruv. Thank you, sir. Too many people disrespecting Jordan Henderson's name. Like he wasn't out here, wasn't the backbone of Liverpool Football Club for years. Oh, man, what a bar from the Aussie Red Show. I love that. Josh Smith said, would you consider buying the Portuguese defender from Braga, Vingerin? No, that can't be his name. You bugging, bro. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know what you're talking about. He's saying D-ass. What does that even mean, bruv? Jay Singh said Slot needs to be sacked. 110%, brother. Needs to go. Needs to go. The Aussie Red Show said, Diaz was a fighter, and now we're selling our last clout warrior, Robertson. What a joke. Yeah, I mean, we still have Salah. We still have Salah and Van Dijk. But yeah, I know what you mean by like just a gritty type of guy. Like a guy that's going to go out there and just play for the badge. Play for the badge. Josh Smith said, United are really the best team in the world. Yeah, do you think so? They aren't. Jason said 450 million spent and we're worse than before. What the fuck? Yeah. That's almost impressive to do that though. To a certain extent with Liverpool, you do have to take a step back and say 450 million spent and we somehow got worse. There's not a lot of clubs that can do stuff like that. Josh Smith, you're a United fan. I think your club has done that for years. Just spent money and somehow got worse. Big Mailman, what a name. I love that. You think it's being a World Cup year and having a few where it will be their last World Cup leads to less aggression? Ooh, that could be the case, Big Mailman. That could be the case, brother. I wouldn't be shocked with some players maybe not going all out because they have a World Cup and it could be their last year. 30 concurrent viewers right now. That is unbelievable. Jay Singh said United getting smashed tomorrow by Arsenal. Anfield is a sandpit compared to Old Trafford. Good one. Liverpool. Someone come get their man. This guy, you win the quad. My man, when was the last time you saw your club win a Premier League trophy or a Champions League? I'd love to know. Aussie Red Show said, Salah is over the hill and can't press quality, but we have to build a new team with a fighter on the sideline. Xabi Alonso as manager and Steven Gerrard as the first team coach. Someone needs to get the Aussie Red Show in at the in somehow involved in the club because of the decisions that he's spitting right now. I love him. Oh, if Xabi and Stevie were just somehow involved with the club together. How many titles has Gerrard won? He's won the Champions League. Who is this guy? Dude, Josh, keep chatting. I hope you know it's good for my stream when you keep chatting. Like I don't really care. Aussie Red Show said I'm trying. Well, you're succeeding, brother. Let me tell you that. You are succeeding. This guy, LFC in the mud. Good one, pal. Good one. This is great coming from a guy whose club's been shit for years. Brendan back. Imagine we brought back the boy Brendan Rodgers. I would love that. That's what I think the answer actually is. Colbridge Cooks United. Yeah, your own fans don't even like your club. Talking about our club. Your own fans don't even like your club. Your fans don't even really care. Alonzo, Big Mailman said Alonzo is Stevie assistant. This would be madness. Wouldn't that be just a vibe, dude? That'd be unreal. The Aussie Red Show said Jared was playing with the Welsh Javi, Joe Allen, Traore, and still stayed around. Jared won the Champions League on his own. Jay Singh said, when was the last time you went to the Premier League or Champions League? The Aussie Red Show said we should collab. For sure, dude. Shoot me a message on so if you go on my bio, I got like a Twitter and stuff like that. Just shoot me a message on one of my socials. This Josh guy, I think he thinks like you're making me mad. I love, keep going in the chat. It's very good. Like the video too, by the way. Just keep going because it's very, very good for my stream, to be honest with you. How have we had this many people watching along and nobody has sent a speak pipe in? It's crazy. Subscribe to the channel too, guys. How many am I at now? 989. So 11 more. 11 more, and I get to 1,000. I'm gonna go subscribe to the Aussie Red Show too. This guy's a fucking weirdo, bro. I love it. Keep sending chats in. Oh, Big Mailman said he is the best midfield in Prem history. Scholes even said so. He did. I think Paul Scholes said, I couldn't do what Steven Gerrard did. That is an actual thing that he said. It's a quote. I wonder if Slot will get sacked. I keep refreshing to see. Mindtrap said, Josh having fun, LOL bro, thinks he supports a Galacticos club. The Aussie Red Show said, imagine playing Wirtz wide when we have a German maestro who cuts through the lines and plays passes that weakens the low block. Then Slot cries he can't win against the low block. Yeah, fair point. RFYWC said, such a boring team we are. Yeah, that's the problem, man. It's just getting boring. He said, thanks for the sub, legend. Yes. Guys, go check out the Aussie Red Show, too. Subscribe to his channel as well. All right. Here we go. LFC sucks ass. What do you guys think? You think I should just keep letting him go in the chat Should I keep letting him go or should I block his ass? What do you guys want? I'll let the chat decide. I don't really care. He keeps just sending in chats, and that's fine by me because the more chats, the more my stream gets pushed. So I'm okay with him, but I don't want him to be bothering you guys. If he's bothering you guys, then he's got to go. He isn't bothering me. Big Mailman said United's biggest achievement lately is surviving another season without a mid-table parade. Yeah. That's funny. The Aussie Red Show said no tempo, no fight, no cutting edge, and no guile. Klopp would put Coutinho in midfield against a slow block and ping balls into the net. Then the opposition would press, which would fall in our hands. United making fun of Liverpool is something ironic. I know. This is definitely like a young kid doing this. Oh, 990. Yes. Someone else subscribed. Cameron Fox said, I remember being like him when we had Ricky Lambert up top. Poor man, shit fans. Yeah. I definitely understand just like I remember hating United like the way that he clearly hates Liverpool. $10 subs away from 1,000. That's unbelievable. United fans living in the past. They sure are. Scott Parker was better than Gerrard. This man. Oh, someone else subscribed. 9 subs away from 1,000. Oh my God. Aussie Red Show says thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. Ollie is manager and Southgate is assistant. Nine subs away. That would be something, bro. I don't think I'm going to get it on this stream just because I don't think I've already been streaming for a while. But dude, definitely going to get 1,000 soon, which will be awesome. He said, keep Josh Man in the chat. He's better for your chat. Big Mailman said, yes, please keep him. All right, I'll keep him. That's fine. I don't mind it. He ain't bothering me as long as he's not bothering you guys. RFYWC said, with Slot, we just downgraded our attack, defense, play style, and that never give up mentality. We're not mentality monsters anymore. Yeah, I agree. I certainly agree with you, brother. Ashley said, you're the GOAT, Limo. Thanks, Ash. Ash, I think you're the GOAT. Keep me like you keep Slot. Oh, this kid kind of cracks me up, man. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Let me go to... It'd be awesome if he made videos or some shit like that. Big Mailman said he is here because no United channels are streaming because no one actually cares. LOL. Yeah, maybe. Cameron Fox says, you'll be gone soon. I'll be gone soon? Or he'll be gone soon. Who will be gone soon? Someone's got to send in a speak pipe, right? I feel like I'm just like begging at this point. Jesus. Him. Oh, he'll be gone soon. I hear what you're saying. My bad, Cameron. The Aussie Red Show said, not signing Gahey is mind-boggling. Homegrown, cheap, better than Konate, Gomez, and probably Van Dijk. I think, yeah. I mean, I'll be real though, Aussie Red. I think we kind of got screwed on that one because the situation with that is we were going to sign him, like we had it like done and dusted in the beginning of September, and then it fell through because they didn't want to sell him. That's where we kind of got screwed. You know, is that it sucks because it's you know, we were supposed to sign him in September. Palace kind of blocked it, and then we became shit. And realistically, we just didn't want to join Liverpool no more. It sucks, but like, you know, City swooped in. Oh, the viewers just dipped. LFC fans, hang in there. The Aussie Red Show said, we didn't go for him again. What, are we kids throwing a temper tantrum? Hughes screwed the deal. Yeah, I think he did kind of screw the deal a bit, but I also think that we were probably... My interpretation of the whole Gahey situation was that Jurgen signs him with his massive German grin. My whole thing, I think, Aussie, with the Gahey situation was I interpreted it as though he was not for sale this season. They were just going to keep him. And then Liverpool were going to go in at the summer and pick him up on a free. Then I don't know what happened between that and then, you know, the situation where obviously City picked him up in the winter transfer window, but something happens. I don't know what it was, but something definitely happened. Yeah. That's my whole kind of breakdown of the situation. I said I can't now, Ash. Alright. Don't forget to like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell as well so you guys know every time I make a new video. Follow all my socials. They're down below in the description. Let me just double check that I didn't get a speak pipe from anyone. Nah, don't look so. Don't look like it. But thank you guys very much for joining along with me. This has definitely been a great stream with all of you. Yeah. Some of the highest concurrent viewers that I've ever had. See you guys.